the Great Northwoods to the Rockbound Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Today on Good Morning Maine, a man accused in a decades-old murder case pleads guilty in court.
Plus, protecting right whales is a hot topic as the Fishermen's Forum returns to Rockport.
And organizers of the Cinderella Project are seeking more prom gown donations to make sure all students have a magical night. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Craig Colson. Happy Friday to you. Guess what? We're getting ready for another storm. Today, it looks like we'll have beautiful sunny weather, so we need to enjoy that, but another douse of snow is coming in tonight.
What? I like that attitude.
You like that?
Yes. Okay, let's throw it over to Devin Biggs.
Yeah. He says it better than I do anyway.
Sorry.
Take it away, Devin.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Friday. Your first weather forecast sponsored by the Mortrude team of Homes and Gardens Real Estate. They work throughout the state of Maine, serving both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. We have advisories to talk about this morning. We have winter storm watches in effect until Saturday at 8 p.m. So warnings outside our viewing area until 7 p.m. Saturday. Watching for significant snowfall that will take place in these areas happening later on tonight and parts of tomorrow. We also have gale watches posted until 1 a.m. Sunday. Gale warnings now until 7 p.m. Saturday for a few areas because it will be stirring up the ocean. And again, the radar is quiet out there at this point, so that's good. Nothing too ridiculous happening just yet, but we'll be watching for more active weather coming up late tonight and in parts of the daytime tomorrow. Hourly forecast for the rest of the daytime period today, a beautiful day out there with a lot of sunshine and temperatures in the 30s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma?
All right, thank you, Devin. After an hour-long deliberation, a decision has been made in the case of a Brewer man who was accused of shaking his baby to death. Our Matthew Jurancic has the story.
A jury ruled Ronald Harding guilty of manslaughter on Thursday at Penobscot Judicial Center.
Is Ronald Harding, the defendant in the bar, guilty or not guilty of the offense of manslaughter?
Harding was charged with manslaughter after causing the death of his 6-week-old son Jaden by violently shaking the child on Memorial Day in 2021. Kayla Hartley, the baby's mother, performed CPR on the baby prior to paramedics arriving on scene. Emergency crews transported Jaden to Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center, where the baby was pronounced dead. The jury reached a guilty verdict after defense attorney William Ash and Assistant Attorney General Leanne Robin delivered their closing arguments.
He knew better than to smack Jaden's head on a surface. A person who uses his adult strength to shake a baby or cause a baby's head to hit a surface is certainly reckless or criminally negligent.
In this case, the evidence has proven beyond a reasonable doubt that Ronald Harding is innocent. As he said, his son was everything to him.
The verdict was based on several factors, including medical evidence and testimonies from Dr. Jane Turner, a forensic pathologist from Vermont, and Dr. Liam Fuente, Maine's Deputy Chief Medical Examiner. The defense was also claiming the subdermal hemorrhaging on Jaden's brain could have happened days prior to Memorial Day in 2021. Harding is currently being held without bail at Penobscot County Jail and could face up to 30 years in prison. The sentencing date has not been set yet. In Bangor, Matthew Jurancic reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
A man charged in a decades-old case pleaded guilty to murder Thursday afternoon. Gerald Goodale was sentenced to 32.5 years in prison for the death of 20-year-old Janet Brochu of Waterville in 1987. Police say Brochu was out with friends on Christmas Eve, but separated from her group and disappeared. Her body was found in the Sebasticook River in Pittsfield in March of 1988. Police say Goodale was part of the original investigation, but new evidence helped prosecutors bring the case to a grand jury. He was charged with her murder in 2021. Brochu's family members say they're happy with the sentence and it will help bring them some closure.
Justice was partially served. You know, of course, we all die and we all get judged, right? But again, I forgave him for his part, what he did to me and my family. And I also can say that for my uncle and my aunt, that they wanted to know for sure who did it. But I know what type of people they were, and they would have forgiven him too.
Goodale is already serving time for the 1988 killing of Geraldine Finn. Yesterday's sentence will run concurrent with his present sentence. He could be released from prison in 2041. At the earliest, he will be in his 80s.
The Piscataquis County Grand Jury has indicted a Guilford man for attempted murder. 41-year-old Tori Littlefield was arrested in January of 2022 after police received a 911 call from a woman claiming Littlefield had assaulted her, shot at her, and threatened to burn down her home. The woman told police Littlefield woke her up because he was mad the electricity in the house wasn't working. He allegedly shot at her 3 times. Penobscot County DA Chris Almy says when police arrived, they were able to see bullet holes and found a shell casing. Littlefield was also indicted on a variety of other charges, including domestic violence assault, domestic violence criminal threatening with a dangerous weapon, and criminal mischief.
The Maine Supreme Judicial Court set aside the sentence of a man convicted of murdering another man outside a Bangor nightclub. 37-year-old Rashawn Moore was found guilty in the stabbing death of 25-year-old Demetrius Snow. It happened in the parking lot of the Half Acre nightclub on Harlow Street in 2020. The justices upheld Moore's conviction. However, they agreed with his attorney that the judge in the case should not have considered the fact that Moore decided to go to trial as a sign he had no remorse, which was a possible factor in his sentence.
Former Sullivan Select Board Chairman Michael Pinkham resigned from the board position and his role as harbor master back on February 27th. He did so following the resignation of Sullivan Town Manager Stacy Tozier and says the job had become too stressful for him to continue. Pinkham says he tried to make effective changes during his time in the role and that he didn't want to resign but felt it was the right call given the frustrations that he experienced.
It's a very thankless job to be a public official in town. And the only satisfaction you get out of it is knowing that you're trying to do things right. And because you certainly don't, some towns you don't get paid to be selectmen. In Sullivan you get paid a small fee, but the amount of time that it takes and the stress that it puts on you to get everything done is just overwhelming.
Well, despite his resignation, Pinkham says Sullivan is a great place to live, and he will continue to volunteer throughout the town in his spare time. He also says he hopes that the board will find a good candidate to fill the role.
The Maine AFL-CIO is speaking out after they say Maine Senator Angus King has been involved in bipartisan talks with other congressional members on the possibility of raising the Social Security retirement age. The group says at a time when life expectancy has been declining for many Americans, it's, quote, absurd to even consider raising the retirement age to receive full Social Security benefits. They say Social Security is a critical lifeline for working class people and that age discrimination is a real problem. So folks who, for one reason or another, have to search for a job in their 50s and 60s can encounter age-based barriers.
I think that if these senators and congresspeople had spent their lives working in construction or fishing or the logging industry, I don't think that they would be so quick to discuss raising the retirement age to 70 years old. Do we really want to force nurses, teachers, and restaurant workers to work until they're 70 years old before they can retire? People get burned out and exhausted. And just because you're still alive in your late 60s doesn't mean you're still able to work full time like you did when you were much younger. Mainers deserve to retire in dignity.
They say what Congress should be doing is looking for ways to strengthen and even expand Social Security, including lifting the cap on high-income earners. The Maine AFL-CIO represents the interest of roughly 200 labor organizations with more than 40,000 members.
A federal court is allowing an active petitioner to weigh in on a lawsuit against his town. Federal Judge Lance Walker has granted Charlie Sidman the title of intervener in a lawsuit against the town of Bar Harbor, following a vote that would limit the number of cruise ship passengers allowed in the town to a maximum of 1,000. A group of local businesses filed a suit against the town to overturn the decision. Sidman was an avid supporter of the regulation and says he filed to be an intervener in the case to be the voice of all of those in the town who also voted in support of limiting cruise ship passengers in town.
We are now at the table. We have a full-fledged seat at the family table. We participate in any mediation. We participate in discovery. We participate in fully if it gets into a courtroom.
The lawsuit is still pending in court and the limit remains in place. Sidman believes that the court case could be resolved by next fall.
Fun fact for you about Bar Harbor. Between 1905 and 1915, cars weren't allowed on MDI.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I learned that in the class I'm taking right now, but seems like this is history repeating itself.
Yeah. What did you do? A horse and buggy kind of thing?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, cars were seen as a nuisance. They were loud. They spooked horses.
Oh, makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. Well, the time is now 8:10. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, firefighters spring into action to rescue 2 dogs that fell through the ice in Kittery.
But first, another check of your weather forecast. Looks like it will be a beautiful, mostly sunny day today with highs up near 37 degrees. The snow showers move into the area overnight with lows dropping down to around 18. The snow will continue tomorrow morning before finally wrapping up. Your highs on 30, right around 30 degrees. On Saturday, I should say.
No matter what type of dog you have, or cat you have, Frontline Plus lets you take them everywhere, no matter how you define it. Frontline, the #1 name in flea and tick protection.
Family owned and operating in the Bangor area for more than 10 years. Crosby's Welding is here to help you. We specialize in steel, stainless steel, and aluminum welding and fabrication. We serve many of the local industries from Maine lobstermen to the commercial trucking industry and everything in between. Fully mobile on-site construction services right down to custom signs and fire pits. Fast, friendly, reliable service. Give us a call today for a free estimate. 974-7815.
Oh, what a good time we will have. You can make it happen.
Voltaren, the joy of movement.
ABC 7, Fox 22, Jackson's Automotive, and Triple S Tax Shop want to send you to see the professional bull riders performing March 10th, 11th, and 12th at the Cross Insurance Center in Bangor. Register to win 2 tickets by stopping by Jackson's Automotive in Old Town, where we have the best technicians and always offer a fair price. Or Triple S Tax Shop in Carmel for quality clothing and equestrian gear. Professional bull riders, an exciting show for the entire family.
On the next Last Man Standing, Vanessa turns her back on success.
She thinks that her tutoring business is profiting off the back of a broken school system.
She thinks she's a vulture capitalist.
Why do people say that like that's a bad thing? Without the vulture, the desert would be littered with dead cowboys.
But Mike wants her back in business.
All right, I'm in. What's the play? Ooh, does my character have an accent?
Yes. You're from Dumlandia.
Last Man Standing.
This afternoon, starting at 4 on Fox 22.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. Well, 2 dogs are doing okay after falling through the ice in Kittery. Firefighters were able to rescue them within just a matter of minutes. The rescue happened on a pond just off Route 236. It was just after 1 yesterday afternoon when the pups spotted some geese out on the ice. They weren't wearing a leash, so they took off running. The dogs broke through the very thin ice, and their handler initially thought about going out there himself, but he realized it just wasn't safe. That's when the fire department was called in to help. The fire chief says they go through constant training for these kind of situations, especially because of the proximity to the ocean and just a bunch of ponds in the area.
A lot of people think the only thing we train on is how to fight a fire. It's much more in depth than that.
One thing I learned is to make sure to zip up the rescue suit all the way because I got soaked. So that was a good learning moment for me.
This was Leiden's very first rescue. He just got trained in this a couple months ago. The man who was out here with the dog says they're warming up by the fire, or they were last night. He's very thankful for those first responders.
Lucky little pups.
Yes.
A local community initiative is still looking for donations to help dreams come true. The Cinderella Project, based out of the Waldo Community Action Program, is in need of more plus-size prom dress donations. According to the president and CEO of the Maine Cinderella Project, Donna Kelly, all donations are welcomed and can be dropped off at any Days Jewelers location.
The goal of the Cinderella Project of Maine is we want to promote self-esteem and positive body image, and we welcome any student to these events. We're LGBTQ plus friendly, we welcome all students, and we want to make sure that there's a wide variety of dresses for everybody to choose from.
Well, right now, the Maine Cinderella Project is gearing up for its first giveaway event, which will be at the Wentworth Event Center on April 15th. If you don't have any dresses to donate but would still like to give to the cause, monetary donations could be made through the Waldo Cap website. I think that's a wonderful program. They've been helping a lot of teens for many years now. You know, have a much better night on prom because it's so expensive to go to these things now.
It's so expensive, Craig. And, I think the cost of it can kind of really deter the fun of it.
Yeah.
But they're doing a great thing.
Yeah, once you add up the dresses, the hair, all that kind of stuff.
You got to get it. I had to get mine tailored.
Yeah.
And it's just you can't always anticipate how the costs add up.
Yeah.
So this is a good thing. The time now is 8:15. After the break, we'll have an inside look at the 48th Annual Fishermen's Forum that occurred at the Samoset Resort in Rockport yesterday.
Plus, we'll hear from a student from Literacy Volunteers in Bangor who says her life has been drastically changed since her lessons. Those stories and more coming up on Good Morning Maine.
We answered some questions on Angie.
Contractors pop up on your screen.
You can read other people's experiences.
To me, Angie is a time saver.
I scheduled it right then and there.
Get started at Angie.com today.
If you're eligible for Medicare and Medicaid, a Medicare Advantage plan from Anthem Maine Health can come with all the benefits you want and zero compromises. Just go to anthemainehealth.com/answers or call 855-753-3928 for a one-on-one Medicare plan review. Ask about our $0 monthly premium plans that include dental, vision, and hearing coverage, along with transportation, a free gym membership, and $0 copay for prescriptions, all for zero extra cost. Plus, you could be eligible for extra benefits to help you save even more. We have plans with up to $2,500 a year to help you pay for over-the-counter health items, groceries, and living expenses like cell phone, electric, or water bills, all on a single prepaid MasterCard you can use at thousands of locations nationwide. Call Anthem Maine Health at 855-753-3928 or visit anthemmainehealth.com/answers and get a Medicare Advantage plan with zero compromises for you and your wallet.
Patriot Homes and Liberty Trucking in Ellsworth would like to wish the Ellsworth girls basketball team good luck in the state finals. Patriot Home and Liberty, trucking, designing, building, and now moving your dream homes.
This is Sheldon Cooper's theory of relativity.
All right.
F is family.
We have family business to discuss.
We're getting a puppy?
No.
Then I'm not sure I care. X is love.
Sweet dreams. Love you.
Love you too, because you're my mom.
Young Sheldon 5 times a week.
On Fox 22.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. An important Maine industry event is back in person for the first time since 2020. Our David Ledford has the details.
The 48th Annual Fishermen's Forum kicked off on Thursday at the Samoset Resort in Rockport. The event brings together fishermen, scientists, and seafood dealers from across New England to discuss the latest issues affecting the industry.
It's a place to break down barriers and really get to know the issues much better in a more informal, laid-back atmosphere.
The 3-day forum started with Shellfish Focus Day, which included seminars ranging from growing clams to offshore wind energy. Industry professionals also began prepping for the popular trade show, which will run on both Friday and Saturday. Some exhibitors spoke about the value the event brings to Maine.
I think our biggest goal with the Fishermen's Forum is to reach out to young people who are getting into fisheries and aquaculture and see how we can provide resources for them, help train them and get them the support that they need to start new businesses on the working waterfront.
New industry talks will take place each day, including discussions about Maine lobsters and endangered right whales.
The fishing industry and the commercial marine industry and aquaculture is so critically important to Maine. It is so important to our economy, and you can't take anything for granted. You really do need to participate. Honestly, don't take it for granted. Participate, participate, participate. And this is the place to do it.
The forum is also a family-friendly event through and through. Kids will be treated to an open family swim, movie screenings each afternoon and evening, crafts, and more. The forum will wrap up with a seafood banquet on Saturday. In Rockport, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Literacy Volunteers of Bangor is dedicated to helping people learn to read and write, no matter their age or ability. And tonight, or this morning, we have a chance to highlight some of the work that they do. Meet Cindy Duell. Up until 7 years ago, Cindy had a hard time reading and writing. She says she was bullied and called names throughout her childhood. She entered foster care at the age of 16, and then a year later decided to quit school. And then one day, her husband saw a commercial for Literacy Volunteers of Bangor. She found her tutor there, and today she is one of their many success stories. She says Literacy Volunteers has really changed her life.
I get to read different books. I can read prescriptions now. I can read stuff at the grocery store. I can read instructions on a bag to cook something. My life is awesome. It has gone from I want to say living in hell to living in this happy, beautiful world.
Literacy Volunteers wants you to know that it's never too late to learn to read and write. You can head to lvbangor.org to learn more about Literacy Volunteers of Bangor. Could you imagine going through your life not being able to read simple things like a dog food can, determined between that and a can of soup? I mean, it's
and it's like, who do you reach out to help for that? And this nonprofit is really covering it. I think she said it all and just saying my life is awesome now.
They're changing lives for the better.
That's really cool. Right. I'm glad for her. All right, so tomorrow's stormy weather will interfere with this weekend's high school basketball tournament games. The Maine Principals Association has postponed the Saturday afternoon games scheduled for Bangor and Portland. The Class B games will now be held on Saturday night at the Augusta Civic Center.
The Ellsworth girls will take the court against Spruce Mountain at 7:05, and then the Orono boys will compete against Oceanside following that matchup. The Class D games have been moved to Monday night at the Cross Center. All the games planned for the Cross Insurance Arena in Portland on Saturday night will still go on as planned. At least that's what they're saying right now.
Right.
Southern Maine expecting to get a lot more snow than this area, probably like up to 10 inches or something like that.
Supposed to be more than double us.
Yeah, so just be careful if you're hitting the road.
Yep, and I am. So I will.
I know you're going down there, so be careful. We want you back here on Monday.
I know, I will. The time now is 8:22.
Let's get a full look at that weather forecast.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast sponsored by the More True team of Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate. They work throughout the state of Maine, serving both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. Alrighty, here we are. A storm watch posted until 8 p.m. Saturday here for the counties highlighted here in blue. We're in a storm warnings outside our viewing area. That'll last until about 7 p.m. as we head towards your Saturday as well. Both of these areas for accumulating snow that will be expected. Along the coast, we have wind that'll be a problem as well. We have gale watches posted here until Sunday morning at around 1 a.m. Gale warnings until 7 p.m. for these areas highlighted here. And we're going to keep this rolling for a while yet with gusty winds that will be on the way. And the wave heights are already active out there this morning, ranging from around 3 to 9 feet according to some of the buoys. And with some mild and the active weather on the way, we'll see the wave heights increasing with the next moving in. So around the region right now, we're looking pretty decent. We had a little bit of snow through recently. That's all gotten out of here. So today we're going to be nice with a lot of sunshine, the calm before the storm. Well, that will change for the daytime tomorrow as we're watching this system right here getting its act together, causing a lot of problems in the southern U.S. with severe weather in these areas. We'll be watching the system tracking off towards the north and east and giving us that opportunity for some snow. But high pressure is going to play a role here in the system because that will prevent the snow from going further off towards the north and east. So it's time all this out with Futurecast. So a lot of sunshine for us today. Nothing to worry about there. Clouds move in later on tonight. By early tomorrow morning, by about 6 to 7 o'clock or so, we'll watch for snow that'll be moving in. The line that this moves in will be the trick here because, again, we have high pressure to the north sending dry air in our direction. So some areas will hardly see any snow, while others will see a good amount of snow. And we'll keep this going through the day on Saturday. By Saturday night into Sunday, the snow starts to taper off. We'll hold on to the clouds for a while yet as we head towards your Sunday. Here's the thing right now for accumulations, thinking at about 3 to 4 inches along the Bangor area before things start to back off. Farther down towards the south and west, more snow, maybe at around 3 to 6 inches in these areas before we're all finished up with locally higher amounts. And you have to go into the southwestern parts of the state to notice maybe up to 12 inches in a few spots. So we'll need to keep an eye on that closely. Over 30s today, mostly sunny. The northwest wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tonight, 18 degrees, mostly cloudy, snow showers moving in late. with an east wind at about 5 miles per hour. For tomorrow, snow likely 30 degrees, overall about 2 to 6 inches. Lesser totals off towards the east with more off towards the west. East wind at about 25 miles per hour. All right, here's a look at your extended forecast sponsored by the More True team of Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate. Mostly cloudy on Sunday with highs in the lower 40s. Lower 40s again on Monday with a mostly sunny sky. More snow on Tuesday, highs in the upper 30s.
The housing market is a constant crisis phase, and in 2022, make sure you are the first to the closing table and get looped and get sold with Next Home Experience today.
And remember, no line safe to touch, ever.
For years I've warned you that no power lines were safe to touch ever. But the politicians behind Pine Tree Power weren't listening. They want a government takeover of our power grid. And with a cost of $13.5 billion, we're going to be on the hook for that. It could mean higher taxes or cuts to critical services we use every day. Pine Tree Power is a risk Mainers can't afford, ever.
Don't spin out or crash while trying to buy your new home this year. Contact the Next Homie today. Get looped and get sold, and let Next Home Experience get you to the finish line.
America's top diplomat, Antony Blinken, had an unscheduled meeting on Thursday with his Russian counterpart, Sergei Lavrov, at the G20 conference in India. It's the first time they've seen each other in person since the invasion of Ukraine. Blinken had this to say about their meeting.
I told the foreign minister what I and so many others said last week at the United Nations and what so many G20 foreign ministers said today. End this war of aggression.
Secretary Blinken went on to say the U.S. will support Ukraine for however long it takes and will push for the war to end on terms Ukraine would agree to, and that despite the war, the U.S. remains open to engaging with Russia on nuclear arms control negotiations.
The House Ethics Committee announcing on Thursday that they've opened a probe into New York Republican Congressman George Santos. The committee says it will look into several unethical claims, including campaign fraud, violating federal interest laws, and sexual misconduct. The announcement said that just because the investigation is set to begin, it doesn't mean any violation has officially taken place. Santos's office tweeting out that he's, quote, fully cooperating with the investigation. Santos has agreed that he has lied about some aspects of his background, including his work experience and education, but he has denied any criminal wrongdoing.
Rescuers continue to search for the missing following this week's deadly train crash in Greece. Drone footage shows a thick fog engulfing the site where cranes cleared a large part of the mangled wreck. More than 350 people were on board when a passenger train collided with a freight train on Tuesday. At least 57 people were confirmed dead and many others are injured. Many of them were university students returning from a weekend of celebration. Greek rail workers went on strike yesterday, blaming government neglect as the cause of the crash. One railway employee has taken responsibility for the collision and has been charged with manslaughter.
After weeks of emotional testimony from more than 75 witnesses, it took just hours before the jury decided that Alex Murdaugh was guilty in his South Carolina double murder trial. Fox News correspondent Lauren Blanchard has more on that.
Guilty verdict. Disgraced South Carolina attorney Alex Murdaugh is guilty of killing his wife and son and possession of a weapon in a violent crime.
Verdict, guilty.
After just a few hours of deliberations,
Verdict, guilty.
the jury returned the 4 guilty verdicts.
Verdict, guilty.
Murdaugh remained emotionless as the verdict was read.
And he may be taken away.
In handcuffs, he was taken out of the South Carolina courtroom. The defense attempted to ask for a mistrial. The judge said no.
The evidence of guilt is overwhelming, and I deny the motion.
The 6-week trial of hundreds of pieces of evidence and emotional testimony laid out how prosecutors say Murdaugh shot and killed members of his family in 2021 to shift attention as he faced financial ruin and fraud charges. Murdaugh's defense lawyers tried to make the case that, yes, Murdaugh lied, but he did not commit the murders. They blame the state for overhyping the case against their client.
It doesn't matter who your family is. It doesn't matter how much money you have or people think you have. It doesn't matter what you think, how prominent you are. If you do wrong, if you break the law, if you murder, then justice will be done in South Carolina.
Murdaugh faces 30 years to a maximum of life behind bars without parole. He will be sentenced Friday morning. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
As the reform protest movement continues in Iran, the country's president is calling for an investigation into the poisoning of hundreds of schoolgirls in more than 30 schools nationwide. Fox's Alex Hogan has more from London.
Officials in Iran are ramping up what they call a major investigation after hundreds of students were allegedly poisoned at girls' schools across the country. Iran's president ordering the investigation on Wednesday. A growing number of officials are alleging that these girls are being targeted by religious groups that are trying to send a message against women's education.
In one of the workshops, there was a smell that was like the smell of paint. There was a similar smell on the next floor above as well, and we protectively evacuated the students.
It's not clear how many girls were sickened. One Iranian lawmaker puts the number at almost 900 children in 30 schools nationwide. Some of the most common symptoms include headaches, heart palpitations, and difficulty moving. The committee tasked with leading the investigation says it's, quote, comprised of the best toxicologists and university professors. But the U.S. remains skeptical about Iran's willingness to go after the powerful religious groups that are suspected in these attacks.
To poison girls who are simply trying to learn is simply abhorrent. It's an abhorrent act. We expect Iranian authorities to thoroughly investigate.
Meanwhile, the Iranian government is playing down the poisonings, with some officials suggesting that the U.S. is to blame.
Of course, our enemies like to cause disruptions in the country through their operations, and now they are once again showing up to play with the emotions of the Iranian people.
These incidents take place as protests continue across Iran, prompting a swift crackdown from the regime. In London, Alex Hogan, Fox News.
Meanwhile, there's a pushback from the first person that came forward to discuss what is now known as Havana syndrome. U.S. intelligence agencies believe the so-called Havana syndrome did not come from another country. Fox News Chief National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin talks with a person now known as Patient Zero.
Rushing head pressure, kind of like someone was taking a pencil and bouncing it off your eardrum.
December 29, 2016. Adam, who worked for the U.S. government at the U.S. Embassy in Cuba, became Patient Zero, the first victim of what has since been described as Havana syndrome, suffering from vertigo, dizziness, and in some cases, brain injuries.
As I crossed that threshold into the bedroom, it was like a wave, like a baseball bat almost hit me. So I got on all fours, crawled down my bed, grabbed my technology.
1,500 U.S. employees from China to Moscow and beyond have reported similar attacks. A recent 2-year investigation by the U.S. intelligence community found no evidence of a foreign adversary's involvement and concluded Russia and China do not have this type of weapon.
To say that a foreign adversary doesn't have the same sort of technology or equipment, frankly, is laughable. I mean, it was just 2 years ago that China was bragging that they were using microwave weapons on the Indian border against India. Russia sold a system to China in the early 2000s, and China developed their own off of that and called it Torch 1. So we know that these exist.
In fact, this U.S. patent from 2005 is for a beamed radio frequency energy weapon that can cause some of the described side effects.
I know the technology that was developed in the former Soviet Union, and that technology, in my mind, is perfectly aligned with the type of technology that's needed to deliver targeted, repetitively pulsed, high-power RF energy. This is the technology that, in my opinion, most likely was used, and the Russians were behind it.
At the Pentagon, Jennifer Griffin, Fox News.
Scary stuff.
Sure is.
Still to come here on the second half of our show. This weekend is non-resident snowmobile weekend.
Plus, the Hirundo Wildlife Refuge will also have some special events going on this weekend. We'll have all the information about those stories and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
Bath remodeling was revolutionized in this garage in 1984 when three brothers created the iconic bath fitter tub-over-tub process. A breakthrough then, the industry standard now for beautiful baths without the mess, stress, or high cost. A better way from Bath Fitter means precise measurement, the highest quality acrylic, perfect preparation, and watertight installation backed by a lifetime warranty. Bath Fitter, it just fits. Visit bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
Complete Tire Service Incorporated in Ellsworth would like to wish the Ellsworth girls basketball team good luck in the state finals. We've got the best brands of tires and best service to get you to your destination. Complete Tire Service Incorporated. We've been servicing the local area since 1964.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. Today is Friday, March 3rd, 2023. It's also National If Pets Had a Thumb Day. I love this. It's just a fun opportunity to imagine what life would be like if our fuzzy little friends had that extra digit. Would they use it for good or evil?
What would Freddie do you think?
I don't know, but you could train him to use the toilet, and they could flush it themselves.
Right?
I mean, there's got to be some positive things out of it. Freddie would get in trouble. He'd be opening up cabinets and getting into the food and that kind of thing.
Right,
but,
I know.
I'm glad the animals can't do that, I guess.
I think they'd effectively be residents, they'd be citizens who would have to pay taxes if this were to happen.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm just glad they can't talk.
Right.
Because then they can't,
they'd share all
tell
our
your
secrets
and things like that. So,
because we have so many of those.
Yeah, right. It's just fun to think about, though.
All right. Well, on this day in history, in 1791, Congress adopted a tax on distilled spirits, which was the first Internal Revenue Act in U.S. history. In 1931, the Star-Spangled Banner by Francis Scott Key was adopted as the American national anthem. I forget how that's been in the past 100 years.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
Right,
yeah.
right.
America's pretty young, though, if you think about it, especially compared to other countries.
Absolutely,
so,
absolutely. In 1945, the Allies fully secured the Philippine capital of Manila from Japanese forces during World War II. And in 1960, there was a celebration as Elvis Presley returned to the U.S. after completing his military service in Germany.
The King returned.
Right.
Today's birthdays include pop star Camila Cabello, who is 26. Actress Jessica Biel turns 40 today. Six-time NBA All-Star Kyrie Irving is 30 years old. He played with the Celtics, among others. This is also the birthday of Alexander Graham Bell, who was born on this date way back in 1847, the inventor of the first workable telephone.
Very cool.
So, kind of neat.
Kyrie is such a cool name. You don't hear that name very often.
Yeah, right?
I like that name a lot. Okay, well, as far as the weather goes, it looks like if you're doing any traveling today, you'll be good. Tomorrow, though, you may want to take it easy.
Might get a little bit slippery out there. In
Right.
fact, power crews are already putting out the notice that they'll have some people standing by to watch the storm, because I think this kind of snow is supposed to be that wet, sticky, heavy
Right.
stuff.
It's so warm.
So further down south you go, the more snow you'll get, and probably the more problems you'll get.
Good point. Okay, here's Devin Biggs.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Friday. Your first weather forecast sponsored by the Mortrud team of Homes and Gardens Real Estate. They work throughout the state of Maine, serving both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. We have advisories to talk about this morning. We have winter storm watches in effect until Saturday at 8 p.m. So warnings outside our viewing area until 7 p.m. Saturday. Watching for significant snowfall that will take place in these areas happening later on tonight and parts of tomorrow. We also have gale watches watch. It's posted until 1 a.m. Sunday. Gale warnings now until 7 p.m. Saturday for a few areas because it will be stirring up the ocean. And again, the radar is quiet out there at this point, so that's good. Nothing too ridiculous happening just yet, but we'll be watching for more active weather coming up late tonight and in parts of the daytime tomorrow. Hourly forecast for the rest of the daytime period today, a beautiful day out there with a lot of sunshine and temperatures in the 30s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
Thank you, Devin. Well, this weekend is non-resident snowmobile weekend. Between today, March 3rd, and Sunday, March 5th, non-residents are welcome to ride the main trail systems as long as they have a valid registration from another state or province. The Maine Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife would like to remind residents as well that this means increased traffic on the trails. To learn more, head to the Maine IFW's Facebook page. So it seems like a lot of people will be out there this weekend, and they have good weather for it.
Yeah, they sure do. I bet it'll be packed out there, so just be careful. You never know what's coming up around the corner.
Right.
Luckily, they have a lot of fresh snow to play with, though.
Right. That's fun. Hey, still to come here this morning, Ryan Sudol will have your sports updates.
We'll also be hearing about a great fun event tomorrow at the Hirundo Wildlife Refuge. Don't go away.
Life's a journey. One day, you're the taxi driver for the kids' hockey practice. The next day, you're the recreation director. And on the weekend, you're the manager of fun for you. No matter what hat you're wearing, Quirk Auto has the tough, the dependable, the impressive, and the undeniably enjoyable truck you deserve. It's your journey. It's your truck. Find it at Quirk.
NexGard is the #1 vet-recommended flea and tick protection. It protects for a full 30 days, prevents the infection that causes Lyme disease, and is safe to start protecting puppies as early as 8 weeks. But your vet doesn't just prescribe it to her patients. She trusts NexGard to protect her own dog. And she knows its delicious beef flavor makes it #1 with dogs. Use with caution in dogs with a history of seizures or neurologic disorders. Ask your vet about NexGard and why it's #1 with pretty much everyone.
Bangor Brewer bowling lanes on Wilson Street in Brewer, featuring 24 lanes of candlepin bowling and a big arcade room where kids can win great prizes. Glow bowling on Saturday nights from 7 until closing. Bring your entire family. A fun entertainment for all ages. When Cat Tracks in LaGrange wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. Cat Tracks in LaGrange is your dealer for Hewitt lifts and Rolodox, with the goal to get you on the lake faster than anyone else.
Sometimes big truck accidents can result in big case settlements. These are just some of the big case results I fought to get my clients. If a big truck hurts you, we'll make them pay you every single dollar you deserve for your injuries. I'm Jim with Lowry & Associates. If you've been hurt by a big truck, call the Twos. We win for you.
Hurt by a big truck? Come out on top. Call the Twos. Call 222-2222.
With the state of the bloodline in question, how will Roman Reigns handle the situation with Jey Uso? An all-new Friday Night SmackDown, live at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, tonight on Fox.
Welcome in to Fast Break Tournament Edition, brought to you by Dorsey Furniture and Coastal Auto Parts, your local Napa Auto Parts dealer.
Hey everybody, Ryan Sudol here. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's start out on the hardwood with a little gold ball preview. Ellsworth girls are B North champs, and they'll play Spruce Mountain this weekend for a chance at their first state title ever. Getting there took some growth in more ways than one.
We're going for a gold ball. That's insane.
Ellsworth girls basketball is playing for their first state title in history this weekend after beating top seed Old Town in the B North final.
Well, I cried, but there are tears of happiness. It was really exciting. It was very overwhelming.
It was a back and forth affair all game, but a late run sealed the victory for the Eagles.
It was crazy to pull ahead in the last minute, so it was a lot of emotion and a lot of just not processing what had just happened. It didn't really hit me until a couple days after that we had just won another main championship.
But they did, not without some adjusting. The team's lack of experience showed at the start, but in the latter half of the year, the chemistry bloomed.
7 sophomores, 2 freshmen, 2 juniors, and a senior. So very, very young, very inexperienced, and that was my biggest worry.
We didn't really trust each other with the ball. It would be 1 or 2 people scoring, and now it's everyone scoring.
And that growth on the court as players led to even more growth off the court as a family.
This is like the closest team I've ever been on. Like everyone really likes each other. Everyone's best friends. We're like sisters and it's great. And that's a really big reason of why we won.
That and the legion of Eagles fans that flocked to the Cross Center to see their girls play.
We had so many people show out for us, and I am honestly so grateful for that because we always have trouble getting people to come to our games.
Everyone's always at the guys' games because they're very good, but it took us a while to get the recognition I think that we deserved.
And winning the gold ball would be the ultimate way to cap off an unbelievable season.
It would mean everything to me. I honestly do believe we want it more. I've been watching a lot of Spruce Mountain game tape. We don't know a lot about the team, so we're just kind of preparing for everything that could possibly get thrown at us and just sticking to what's been working and have a lot planned, and it's going to be great.
Of course, we wish the Eagles good luck in that game ahead of the state championship game matchups, which tip off on Friday. Great stuff right there. Well, that's all the time we have for sports. I'm Ryan Sudol. We'll be back right after the break.
Here at Garrett's Auto Sales, we believe in fair prices, superior service, and always treating the customer right. We have a fantastic selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs to choose from, with some priced under $10,000. All our vehicles come with a complimentary 30-day warranty and can be seen at garrettsauto.com. Come see us at Garrett's Auto Sales, where we focus on you, the customer. We're located just 2 miles from the Brewer Walmart on Route 1A. We look forward to meeting you.
CEM DP Porter Contractors has been in business for over 40 years in the Bangor area. We specialize in design build for commercial, medical, and residential. We can assist our customers with anything from lot procurement to helping find financing for your project, along with building maintenance and renovations. CEM DP Porter Contractors is currently hiring in Herman for multiple positions, including carpenters and laborers. We offer vacation, holidays, a 3% IRA match, and competitive pay. If interested in applying, please contact Jason at 207-848-7486.
When you've experienced fire and smoke damage in your home, when pipes break and you have water everywhere, when you're concerned about your family's health because of mold, you need a friendly face to take care of it all. You need the friendly faces of Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration. We're just a click or call away. Whatever life throws at you, Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration is here for you. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration. You keep the memories. We'll handle the rest.
Good luck to all the teams in the tournament from Century 21 Real Estate, Queen City, serving the greater Bangor area for more than 70 years. Good luck to the Orono Red Riots boys from The Local, your neighborhood marketplace, 153 Park Street, Orono. Reardon's Automotive and Diagnostics would like to congratulate all the teams heading to the finals for their hard work and dedication throughout this season.
Well, welcome back, everyone. We decided to take the interview section of our show on the road today up to the Hurondo Wildlife Refuge. We're glad to be joined by our old friend Gudrun again today, and we want to let you know about a fun event that's coming up this weekend. Hey, thanks for joining us today. I guess I'm joining you here today.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming out. It's such a beautiful day.
Wintry day, which is appropriate because you're getting ready to have a Winter Fun Day.
That's right. Yeah, so if you'd like to join us on Winter Fun Day, that would be great. So it's this Saturday, and we are here from 10 o'clock till 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And we have lots of interesting things for you. And I'm going to keep peeking at my notes because right.
I know you're going to be having some demonstrations, all kinds of things where people can learn about the great outdoors and some of the programs that are going on up here. One of the things that people can do is they have free snowshoe rental. So if you've never gone snowshoeing, you can give that a try.
Yes, we have that. And we also have again, it starts at 10 o'clock in the morning, and we have the Mainly Voices from the University of Maine. They will be here singing to us. We have a soup cook-off, so if you want to try some different soups, then you're welcome to do that. We also have a read aloud by Stephanie Mulligan. She will bring a book, and she'll sit by the campfire and read stories to children. We have an ice fishing demo. We have food and beverages. We also have a maple syrup demonstration how to do and maybe even to try some of the maple syrup.
That sounds good. Are they tapping trees or something? Or
No, Larry Beauregard will be doing this, and he will be showing how to do that.
Okay.
And he'll bring some samples he had from his last tapping. So
All right.
that should be a lot of fun. We also have craft activities for the children, how to make little penguins, really appropriate for the weather, right?
Yeah.
And that will be inside, a craft activity inside the shelter, so for people to keep warm.
That's great.
And one of our trustees will be talking about the Ice Age Trail and talk about a little bit about the Ice Age and how Hurunda was formed here. Yeah. So that will be interesting. We have our mock curling and mock biathlon every year. And then we do this again this year. We also have kayak races in the snow, which...
Oh, I was going to say, in the water might be a little cold for that this time of year.
No, we will do this on the snow.
Okay.
So that'd be a different approach to kayaking. We have ice carving demo. The main farm and logging museum will be here. And we have ice fishing demos. So you will learn how to do it and maybe find out what kind of fish are in the pond here. Yeah. And we have activities for animal hiding. What animals hide in the woods? If they hide in the woods, talk a little bit about winter adaptation of animals. And so people can walk around and find them.
It sounds like it's kind of like what the mission is here up at Hurunda, to teach people about the great outdoors, about the local history and that sort of thing. And you could take part in it this Saturday.
Yes, and I think it's, as we walk along in the woods, you can see a lot of tracks of animals. You can ask about it. We'll have some track charts here. People can look them up and trying to figure out what they are. And our mission is to introduce people to the out of doors and to form a relationship with that, because only if you have a relationship with something can you care about it. Right. And that's really what we want people to do, care about the environment. And it's the only blue marble we have, right? We have only one place, and that's where we are, and we need to take care of that.
Yeah. That's another reason it's so important to bring kids out here too, because they'll be the next people to take care of our lands.
That's right. They will be the ones who form a relationship, and early on relationships are the ones who last the longest.
Any costs for the event this weekend?
Yeah. It is $12 for up to 7 in a car, and then over 7 in a car, it's $30. Okay.
So, do you have to register or anything, or just show up?
The easiest way to do that is to go online and sign up through Eventbrite. We also will take have people come to the gate directly. We will have somebody at the gate, and we suggest people bring cash, because
kind of hard to swipe credit cards out here in the wild.
Yeah,
you know?
It's difficult, and the cell phone connections are a little shoddy, spotty around here. So cash works really well, and we have food available. So we have hot dogs and hot dogs buns, and so things to eat.
It sounds like a really fun day. Thanks for joining us, or thanks for having me up here, Gudrun. If you're looking for something fun to do this weekend, I know we might have a little stormy weather on Saturday. I don't think it's supposed to be too bad at this point, but come on out here and enjoy. If not on Saturday, come up to Hurunda sometime. You're really missing something if you don't. It's a real treasure right near Bangor. It's a good chance for you and your family to get outdoors. All right, let's move ahead. We're going to have the rest of your forecast now.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast sponsored by the More True team of Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate. They work throughout the state of Maine, serving both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. Alrighty, here we are. A storm watch posted until 8 p.m. Saturday here for the counties highlighted here in blue. We're in a storm warnings outside our viewing area. That'll last until about 7 p.m. as we head towards your Saturday as well. Both of these areas for accumulating snow that will be expected. Along the coast, we have wind that'll be a problem as well. We have gale watches posted here until Sunday morning at around 1 a.m. Gale warnings until 7 p.m. for these areas highlighted here. And we're going to keep this rolling for a while yet with gusty winds that will be on the way. And the wave heights are already active out there this morning, ranging from around 3 to 9 feet according to some of the buoys. And with some mind in the active weather on the way, we'll see the wave heights increasing with the next moving in. So around the region right now, we're looking pretty decent. We had a little bit of snow through recently. That's all gotten out of here. So today we're going to be nice with a lot of sunshine, the calm before the storm. Well, that will change for the daytime tomorrow as we're watching this system right here getting its act together, causing a lot of problems in the southern U.S. with severe weather in these areas. We'll be watching the system tracking off towards the north and east and giving us that opportunity for some snow but high pressure is going to play a role here in the system because that will prevent the snow from going further off towards the north and east. So let's time all this out with Futurecast. So a lot of sunshine for us today, nothing to worry about there. Clouds move in later on tonight. By early tomorrow morning, by about 6 to 7 o'clock or so, we'll watch for snow that'll be moving in. The line that this moves in will be the trick here because, again, we have high pressure to the north sending dry air in our direction. So some areas will hardly see any snow, while others will see a good amount of snow. And we'll keep this going through the day on Saturday. By Saturday night into Sunday, the snow starts to taper off. We'll hold on to the clouds for a while yet as we head towards your Sunday. Here's the thing right now for accumulations, thinking at about 3 to 4 inches along the Bangor area before things start to back off. Farther down towards the south and west, more snow, maybe at around 3 to 6 inches in these areas before we're all finished up with locally higher amounts. And you have to go into the southwestern parts of the state to notice maybe up to 12 inches in a few spots. So we'll need to keep an eye on that closely. Over 30s today, mostly sunny. The northwest wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tonight, 18 degrees, mostly cloudy, snow showers moving in late. The east wind at about 5 miles per hour. For tomorrow, snow likely 30 degrees, overall about 2 to 6 inches. Lesser totals off towards the east with more off towards the west. East wind at about 25 miles per hour. All right, here's a look at your extended forecast sponsored by the More True team of Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate. Mostly cloudy on Sunday with highs in the lower 40s. Lower 40s again on Monday with a mostly sunny sky. More snow on Tuesday, highs in the upper 30s.
Hello, Maine. This is Steve McKay. It's a wintry mix out there, but pockets of orange are standing out against the white blanket of snow throughout the state. Next Home Experience is listing and selling homes just like yours. Get looped and get sold with Next Home Experience.
Who can you call when you need immediate help, any time of day or night? Always giving you and your family peace of mind.
AAA's legendary roadside assistance is a network with over 50,000 vehicles that respond to more than 32 million assistance calls every year.
If something happens and we're broken down, my family's not going to be stranded.
There are so many benefits to membership, and AAA is there if you're locked out of your car, need a tow, run out of gas, have a flat tire, or a dead battery.
You know, if you have one flat tire or one battery service, that membership fee pays for itself.
Wherever you go, wherever you are, you can trust AAA to be there when you need them.
Join today for less than $5 a month. We'll waive the membership admission fee. And as a special bonus, you'll receive a free 1-year membership for 2 additional eligible family members and a $25 Visa gift card. That's a combined value of $166 for only $55 for an annual membership. Don't wait another second. Call to join AAA right now.
Whether it's coaching kids soccer, volunteering at the local firehouse, helping out at the food pantry, or providing the children of our employees with scholarships, the New England Toyota dealers and the thousands of people we employ play a role in lifting up the community. We're proud to serve you and to be part of those things that benefit us all. Toyota. Let's go places.
Looking for your dream home? Contact a Next Homie today and see what's available right now. Sellers, get ready to get looped and get sold. With Next Home Experience, we have your buyers.
Not all records are good. A new report is sounding the alarm as global carbon dioxide emissions reach new heights.
Fox News correspondent Jackie Ibanez has the latest on that, plus why some engineers say micro-nuclear reactors could be a solution to providing clean energy of the future.
The world's carbon dioxide emissions in 2022 reached their highest level on record, according to an alarming new report by the International Energy Agency. The greenhouse gas, which scientists say is responsible for contributing to rising global temperatures, is generated when coal, natural gas, and oil are burned to power many forms of transportation, as well as homes, factories, and businesses. On the other hand, the U.S. Energy Information Administration says nuclear reactors don't emit carbon dioxide while they're in operation, but it takes a lot of material to build these massive plants until recently.
Microreactors are an exciting advanced reactor technology.
Engineers at Last Energy are building tiny transportable nuclear reactors like this model in Texas.
Making this a manufacturable, repeatable product
we're going to be able to drastically reduce the cost of delivered energy, making clean energy affordable.
Soon, energy experts say microreactors like this can be used to power things like military compounds, concert venues, hospitals, and schools.
The University of Illinois in Urbana-Champaign, Purdue University, and Penn State University are all working with companies to explore the use of nuclear power.
The senior director for the Nuclear Energy Institute expects the first microreactors to be up and running